Hey there, welcome to ctrl+mesh. Today I'll show you how to unroll any surface like a map or a rolled up banner using Blender 3D. So let's dive in. We'll start fresh by deleting everything. In this video we'll use an extension called Extra Curve Objects. In Preferences, go to Extensions, then search for Curve. And choose this one. Now we can add a spiral curve. Set the radius to a small amount. 0.2 is fine in my case. Then adjust radius growth and set the turns to 2. And maybe set the radius growth value to 0.5. This is how the map will look from the front view when it is rolled up. Now we'll adjust the curve so its end would be flat on the ground. In top view, we are still in edit mode. Delete the last point. Then we'll extrude the curve in the Y direction until it passes the spiral edge. Here is fine. So extrude on Y to this point. OK, in object mode, let's adjust the curve orientation, as we need it to face the world negative y-axis. Let's rotate 90 degrees on the y-axis, then 90 degrees on the z-axis. And it's so important to apply the rotation. Okay, now let's bring the image. Add Image, Mesh Plane. The plane looks small compared to the spiral, so let's scale it up. Okay, that's enough I guess. And of course, we apply the scale for good practice. Now we need some subdivisions. So in edit mode, Ctrl+R to add cuts. Left click, then I'll set the number of cuts in here. We need an odd number of cuts. I'll set it to 61. Why did I choose odd numbers? Because I want to have an edge right in the middle of the plane. Now in face mode, we'll delete the right side of the plane. Now we need to reposition the plane origin here on this edge. So press Shift S, cursor to selection. Then in object mode, object menu, set origin to 3D cursor. Then Alt G to reset the position. So now we have both the curve and the plane origins at the world center. Okay, let's keep tidy and rename the plane. Now comes the fun part. Let's add a curve modifier. Pick spiral. Right click and set shade smooth. And here is the rolled map. Let's test how it's working. Select the spiral and move it along the x-axis. Nice, isn't it? So what about the other half of the map? It's time to mirror it. With the spiral still selected, switch to edit mode, select the last point, and align the 3D cursor to it. Back to object mode, add an empty, and rename it. I'll rename mine to mirror empty. Now select the map and add a mirror modifier to it. We'll leave the default settings and just set the mirror object to mirror empty. Now let's make sure that the two sides of the mirror are touching each other at the center. Okay, let's tidy things up. Select both the map and the spiral. Then select the empty last and Ctrl+P to parent them to the empty. Now we can reset the empty position and everything will move along. Let's test it again to see the setup in action. Yeah, it's working as expected. Now we can create the animation. Set the first position key by hovering here and pressing I. Advance in time and adjust the X position value. Then set the second key. I'll select both keys and nudge them 10 frames. And I'll set the end frame to 100. Now the in-between is not interesting, so I'll use the graph editor to make it better. Choose both keyframes, press the period key, and set the pivot point to individual centers, and scale them on the x-axis until the handles meet each other in the center. Now I think it's better. Of course you can adjust it to your liking. Yeah, the unroll animation is done, but what about the map texture? It's mirrored and we want to show the full map. So let's fix it. Select the map, go to the mirror modifier, open the data section and just check mirror you. Easy peasy. We got the missing part of the map. Congratulations. Now you learned how to use curves to roll any surface. Keep learning and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you soon.